stage and do shows.
Is that when you did your Elvis Presley?
I did Elvis Presley concerts. I was Elvis for 40 minutes.
Elvis had a huge influence on me, and I was rolling like Elvis too. We were on the road as a crew.
We're like leather suits and like Elvis, man.
When I went over, oh my God, Elvis wasn't cool at all. Elvis was going through some
$1 million career by making people laugh. Now he wants to make them party all the time.
Eddie Murphy has been in Buffalo for almost a week. Most of that time has been spent inside Rick James' recording studio.
It's an album. Yeah.
It's music, it's not comedy. No comedy audience like me.
What? In '85, Eddie decided to follow his passion and release a music album. What happens is after a while, you start, I guess your ego goes nuts and you say like, I can do anything. The album peaked at number 26 on the Billboard 200, but the lead single, Party All the Time, was a certified hit.
I girl wants to party all the time, party all the time.
Eddie Murphy went for the triple threat in the 80s.
Just like that.
He was here, the most talented modern showbusiness. He was here. He's a genius.
You know, people dream about big things happening, but they can be this big.
You have a lot of people trying to be with him.
I'm a Prince groupie. The story about Prince challenging you to a game of pickup basketball.
It was in 85, like, you know, like, androgyny was going on. Prince had on that outfit that was in the Kiss video. And he was like, I'm gonna go for a game of basketball. So he was like, what the My brother was like, alright, it's gonna be shirts against blouses.
You had to give Prince respect in his props. He was like dribbling around and like Michael Jordan.
Blouses.
Eddie Murphy Raw is Murphy as Murphy in concert with the rawest of language, and he's never been funnier.
But one person didn't think so.
One of your heroes, Bill Cosby, who you have not met, and he telephoned you. This is true.
I ran in the house all excited to talk to Bill and pick up the telephone, and Bill got raw on me. I would like to talk to you about some of the things that you do in your show.
Well, what Bill Cosby gave you a hard time about?
Language and all that.
I was so mad, I called Richard Pryor's house up and said, yo, Richard, Bill Cosby just called me up and told me I was too dirty. And Richard said, do the people laugh when you say what you say? I said, yes. He said, do you get paid? I said, yes. He said, well, tell Bill. I said, have a Coke and a smile and shut up.
Eddie Murphy lives up to the concert film standard set by the man he calls his idol, Richard Pryor, and that is high praise indeed.
Eddie was still the hottest comic in Hollywood. At Paramount, the only thing pulling in more money than him was Star Trek. He was untouchable. And right around then, his mother told him there was someone he should meet.
Keenan Wayans called me and said, why don't you meet us at the Improv? Because Keenan's a New York comic, and they were friends with Eddie, and we all met in front of the Improv. And Eddie's mother had told Eddie, I saw a young man on Solid Gold, and he did stand up, and I think you all look like you could be brothers. I want you to look for Arsenio when you get out there. So, and the first thing Eddie ever said to me in Murphy fashion, he looked at me and he says, you don't look like me.
And they made something incredible.
Fascinating.
Where the idea for coming to America come from? It was God.
It's something that I wrote. I wanted to do something where I was playing a bunch of characters and wanted to do something different.
I came up with it on tour, when I was on tour, in the back of a bus. And I wrote it down. And he called me, he said, how would you like to stop doing Ghostbusters cartoons?
Paramount was sued by Art Buchwald, who claimed they stole his idea for the film. They'd later settle for $900,000.
It was one of the best films ever. Because Coming to America became this cult movie. It became part of the culture.
Well, I was also impressed by Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall in terms of what they did on the screen. I thought that both of them showed an enormous range of comic ability.
It even had a sitcom.
I didn't get everybody up from Eddie Murphy. That surprised me. Never saw him the whole process.
The show would only produce one episode.
I could be a Beverly Hills Cop. You can be a Beverly Hills Cop too.
On his latest movie, Harlem Nights, Eddie Murphy did everything except develop the film.
He took the step every actor dreams of into directing. Back then it was called the New Black Renaissance, and you had all these new black directors, Spike Lee, Robert Townsend, all these guys were coming out. So it's like, I don't know, direct something too.
You had an added pressure when you were doing this movie, directing your idol.
He's a shooter. He's brilliant in the movie. He's brilliant, funniest, coolest. Me and Richard Pryor played two guys that owned an after-hours club in Harlem,
and Mafia comes and tries to take our club over.
Michael Michelle was originally cast as Dominique LaRue, but was later fired from the role. She would go on to sue Murphy, claiming she was let go for rejecting his romantic advances. Murphy denied the allegation, stating he had never even had a private conversation with her. The lawsuit was settled out of court, and Jasmine Guy took over.
Some business.
The greatest comedian of all time, the King.
You know who wrong, he's not, like you and me, yeah. He's Michael Jackson. But he's Eddie Norman. And Michael wasn't the only one he was getting close to. What is human enemy?
Friends, we're close friends.
Back in our youth, there was one person, just a friend of mine. I may have gone to dinner with her a few times. It was never like we're dating, we never boyfriends and girlfriends.
She was enamored by Eddie.
274-2903.
You ever had a date from hell?
I invited Eddie Murphy to my house one time. He's not coming. And I invited him to dinner. And then we said, no, a year. And I cooked and stuff and he never came.
You did all the cooking? Eddie Murphy had told him the morning of her wedding to Bobby.
Yeah.
And wrote her to be married.
He said, guess who just called? And I said, who? She said, Eddie. He must be out of his mind. He's going to call me on my wedding day and tell me that I'm making a mistake.
Eddie had his fair share of women, and by 1990, he had become a father to 2 sons.
This is where I'm going to make my children.
Around that time, he also began a long-term relationship with model Nicole Mitchell, whom he met at the 1988 Image Awards. After nearly 2 years of living together, the couple married in March of 1993.
These days, Murphy is spending most of his free time with his longtime love, model Nicole Mitchell, and their 2-year-old daughter, Bria.
And you're getting married in March.
March 18th, I'm the happiest I've been ever right now.
But around that time, Eddie entered a low point in his otherwise Teflon career.
And so finally, to another 48 Hours. And if you're expecting this to be anything like as good as the original 48 Hours, or even just a little bit better than Blue Heat, forget it.
By the time another 48 Hours came out, Time magazine characterized Murphy as a stereotype. Missing and presumed dead.
The greatest film, Beverly Hills Cop 3, opens this one day. Rose picture still stinks.
What, children? It's a falling star. Make a wish.
David Spade said about my career on SNL. Empire in Brooklyn came out. And that had flopped. And it was like, whoa, this is Saturday Night Live. I'm the biggest thing that ever came off that show. Now you got somebody from the cast making a crack about my career.
And he didn't make many friends in the Academy either.
They hadn't recognized black people in the motion picture. After I said that,
There was no mention. It was almost like I wasn't at the awards that night. The next day, there was no mention of it in the next. And there were no pictures of me at the Oscars.
and I'll probably never win an Oscar for saying this.
Do you believe the government built your house at what point?
So we found a little microphone in my house, in my bedroom. That's where the government, somebody put a microphone in the 80s. All they heard in my room was serious going there.
Some criticism has come your way by people like Spike Lee, who has said, Eddie hasn't really been in the forefront of the black film movement in the last 2 or 3 years.
I mean, there would be no Spike if there was no me, so you can't say like, Eddie hasn't done enough. Because, hey, you here, ain't you?
His last couple of films were box office flops.
What happens is, as an artist, because you care what the critics are saying, you care what the audience is saying, you start trying to cater to them, and you be trying to make everybody happy, and you lose yourself trying to do it.
He had a few bright spots, of course.
There's something different about Eddie Murphy these days.
And I'm because the mind didn't move from the bed.
As you get older, you change.
You like being a dad? You have anything?
Oh, it looked good for my wife, too.
Hey, you. The coolest thing about Boomerang and the most political thing about Boomerang is that it's a movement. All black cast, and it has nothing to do with being blacks and nothing.
You got the coordinate.
Yeah, and this cat and the other time was tripping because there were no, there were white people in the movie, but there were no white leads in it. And you take the picture like Boys in the Hood. No one tripped about that because it was, a movie that dealt with like a violent thing, but regular thing, and it was business. Or where the white people? Who's running that office?
When I'm on Taylor Richard, don't you
back in a song, dropping a single with Michael Jackson called "What's Up With You."
Then things got nutty.
Hercules.
How many characters do you play in this movie?
7.
But you were playing 7 characters.
How much of Eddie Murphy is in any character that you played? My sense of humor is there, and that's part of my essence. So I guess it's some of me in everything. And I'm walking on the set, and a fat dude comes up like, "Hey man, you're real funny." I'm like, "Thanks." "Oh, yeah, Eddie Murphy." Who, by the way, I gotta say, literally one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life.
When you drink, I smoked a joint for the first time when I was 30 years old. I've had wild times, but I've never been, you know. Yeah.
Eddie Murphy tells E.T. that his wife and children were out of town, says he wanted something to read and went to a late-night newsstand. He stopped here and picked up the suspected at 4:45 in the morning.
Deputies conducted a traffic stop of the car a few blocks away, at which time they learned that the driver was actor Eddie Murphy.
I love my wife, and I'm not gay, and I'm not, you know, that's what's weird about this, to have your sexuality question and your moral fiber question and all that.
Shalimar Sayuri was found dead a year later. Police believe she tried to swing from the roof into her apartment window with a towel after getting locked out.
Anybody being a good Samaritan at 4:30 in the morning in a neighborhood with anything out. Okay.
We have other news tonight.
Yes, we do.
Thankfully.
What's the best way to distract from scandal?
Hey, Doc, while you're out, get some salmon.
I just recently got married. It was like, we're gonna do some family stuff.
This movie is fun. Any movie that I'm in, my kids ask me the other actors, they go, "Daddy, is that you?" And they're like, serious. You're like, they thought Steve Martin was me.
And things started to look on the up and up again.
Hey, my man, how you doing?
My friend, truly comedic genius. What's it like to wind up working with one of your heroes? I mean, I was in awe. I was really, you know, there was days you probably just found me looking at him. When you see Arnold Schwarzenegger with certain expectations, and when you see Jim Carrey with certain expectations, the same as with acting like me. I've been around for a while, so when I put these makeups on, it kind of washes the slight, kind of erases my skin, and I have now in a whole new place I can go. My wife won't kiss me when I have this stuff on, and it's like a strange, like, oh.
Eddie's absolutely wonderful.
As the new millennium rolled in, Eddie kept going. Some successes, some missteps.
Eddie Murphy has gotten divorced.
In 2005, Nicole Murphy filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. And just a year later, Eddie found his soul.
Man, how many times I got to tell you, no man is what you can sandwich.
Bringing the Tony Award-winning musical sensation to the big screen, Dreamgirls follows the rise and fall of the 1960s girl group on their quest for fame.
I saw the original play 5 times. I'm making movies for a long time, and just to be involved with a piece of material like this, that's a dream come true.
Eddie Murphy is back and hitting the high note. The Sweet Talking James Thunder Early.
And I am telling you, I'm not going.
It's risky because, you know, I'm known for, you know, people come to see me in comedies, you know, and Jamie is known for singing and acting, and Beyonce is known for singing.
If you gotta do it over us, do it behind Eddie Murphy.
Some uncharted waters, and I have an ancient makeup on the hide behind. It's just me out there with a pompadour wig on, singing.
But, I mean, I thought that there we saw the real Eddie Murphy.
That wasn't me. That's not the real me. And when they offered the movie to me, they originally offered me Jamie's part, and I was like, oh no, I want to play that other guy.
Eddie Murphy won a Golden Globe, and now he's the front runner for an Oscar.
I never got nominated for nothing. Yes.
Won your SAG Award, Golden Globe Award, your first Academy Award nomination.
And the Oscar goes to...
And I'll probably never win an Oscar for saying this.
I want to walk in and Little Miss Sunshine.
You think that had something to do with it?
What do you think? I hope this opens up a bunch of opportunities to different stuff.
But after Dreamgirls, Eddie went right back to what he knew.
And now a new movie, baby, that further proves he's back big time in Hollywood.
Norbit!
Starring Eddie Murphy and Eddie Murphy and Eddie Murphy.
For a while, he rested on his laurels. Another wedding, another separation, and a baby with a Spice Girl along the way.
We planned that baby together and we were madly in love. And it just went wrong. Dramatically went wrong.
He denied paternity of the child until DNA tests proved otherwise.
He is very, very sensitive. And I love the baby. There's nothing. And my kids, I can hear my kids, you know, wherever they're at. I sit around, play guitar. The ideal day for me is nothing.
But in 2019, the comeback began.
Dolomite is my name.
Rudy Ray Moore. Why did you decide to do a biography of Rudy Ray Moore?
My fascination with Rudy Ray Moore just started off like everybody else. He had a little cult following.
In the opening credits, you dedicate this poem to your brother.
In the end credits.
Charlie Murphy passed away in 2017 after a battle with leukemia.
One of the funniest people ever.
So Eddie Murphy, everybody, returns to Saturday Night Live tomorrow night.
Not happened since, I think, 84.
It was kind of surreal.
And he made up with the former cast members.
I just felt bad. I was like a little thorn in his side all the time, but we're all good now.
That was your first Emmy? Why do I find that so hard to believe?
I do find it hard to believe.
Eddie was never an awards darling.
Black people will not drive the caboose of society, and we will not bring up the rear anymore. I want you to recognize it.
But that doesn't matter.
I've been in show business for 46 years.
You just finished Coming to America 2.
I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. And I've been in the movie business for 41 years. This is and I followed it my whole career. Pay your taxes, mind your business, and keep Will Smith's wife's name out your mouth.
Funny, as always.
Eddie Murphy's my idol.
Eddie Murphy was the reason I started doing comedy.
Is he sort of the king of comedy?
Yeah, I always felt like it was a blessing. There's no higher blessing. You make people laugh. That's more than anything. That's more than making them dance without making them feel drama or the more we look around and see all the good things that's done in my life, the things to me, all things make us laugh. That's a beautiful feeling, man.
For over 40 years, Eddie Murphy has lit up our screens. And simply put, he's the king.
Still lagging? You'll fix yourself. Should. That. Sorry, bro. Really?